So I hope everyone could just do a sound check. Could you just, someone of you, let me know whether you can hear me all right? That would be really lovely. Just a thumbs up or something like that. There's a little bit of a, if you are on screen. But I suppose you would also let me know if I just talk and talk and talk and you can hear me. So thank you very much. Thanks, Dan. Welcome everyone. This is good to hear and welcome to see you joining me tonight for this mindfulness meditation practice. I don't know whether it has taken you a lot of sacrifices to be here. Maybe yes, maybe you had to ask your other half to step in and look after the kids or prepare the dinner or do the dishes. Maybe you had to just park a few things for a moment and put them aside to be here. Maybe this is your time to practice as part of your routine. Maybe it's the first time for you to be here, so an extra welcome. You know, on a side note, it's really interesting to see that we started with these sessions on Monday under the umbrella, and that was a very good reason to recommence the online sessions of the Mental Health Week. And I think we had 2 on Monday, and we do have 16 registered now. So can you imagine the echoing effect of, you know, if you would keep doing this and keep it going, even though if everyone sort of cannot be here live, but, you know, the opportunity to replay and then to participate in the practice and then to connect to the community in this particular way, but also as an act of or a radical gesture of self-care. That has a lot of power. I don't know whether you realize that. There is this potential, there is a momentum that we actually can all grow together. So thank you very much for being part of this. And if it feels right, if you think this is beneficial, of course, I do appreciate if you help me spreading the word and growing this community. I'm a little bit spoiled, as I mentioned yesterday. You know, I had about 460 or so people this one year coming. And that was, you know, a big thing. And it's good to be back, as I said, and it's good to just start again and invite people in and, you know, support each other in this way. So thank you. Really appreciate that. Some of you know I love being online because I think it's just an inclusive practice. I know that sometimes people couldn't make it to a venue on site at 7 p.m. during the night or week because there's so many other things they have to do, but online is perhaps possible, isn't it? It's easier, accessible. And just noticing what that is like for you, you might notice that there is a part that wants to be in the room with other people, but there might be another part that actually appreciates not making another effort because there's so much effort we do. So it's never perfect, it's never ideal, and this is also what this practice is about, to radically accept that. And also in that there is no such thing, it's right or wrong, you know, it is what it is. And yet we struggle so much to see it, to accept it, not on a surface level, but on a much deeper level, so it becomes a little bit more sustainable. And this is, you know, practice in progress. I think that it never stops. You know, it requires us to continue to actually really sit on the cushion or take a seat on a chair or pause, whether it's for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5, 10, 30, or even longer. So today is an invitation. I really have fallen in love with this word invitation, because it also gives you the choice whether you want to take it or don't, right? Yes. And thank you. Just see that comment. And yes, thank you for letting me know that you appreciate being part of this community. Yeah. And because you're here, we make this happen, right? So thank you. And welcome to the session. So really good to see that you're here. And so tonight we want to, just again, maybe follow this invitation to pause and to see what happens and whatever is arising. You have noticed that I've given every session a little bit of a theme, and tonight's theme is Let Be. And it's just interesting because we often talk about, oh, just let go, I don't know how often you hear about that, how often you hear other people say, oh, just let go. Or whether you can hear that voice inside telling you, just let go. And the question is, what to let go of, really? What to let go of? And in a way, of course, but in another way, you don't. And is it possible to let go of the let go? Interesting question, hey. But also, in order to let go of, you need to know what to let go of. And there might be the instant answer to it, there might be not at all. And it might be this one today, and it might be another one tomorrow or the next moment. And okay, we get so hooked up in that. And I really wonder whether, rather than let go, whether this is what I mean, to see what's actually here and to know what's here, whether letting be might be a way into, in the end, radically letting go, but then also knowing what to let go of. And tonight is an invitation to practice this together and get a little bit of a glimmer there. Nice. Hey. So this is the other thing that excites me, because we also have people from overseas. We had yesterday people from the UK, and I think, if I'm right here, this is someone from the US, so really lovely. Yeah. So this is the power of meeting in this space together. Thank you. Okay. How about we just dive in? I'll guide you through, we'll weave in a few quotes that I've just come across in preparation for our session today, and I will give you prompts how to hold the focus. Again, every prompt is an invitation. There are people here I know that are very experienced in meditation, so yeah, Boston, thank you. Don't feel offended by being offered some, prompts. You don't even have to listen to me. Just being in the space, turn down the volume and just do your own thing. Oh, why not? And some others might like, very more sort of, structured way of being guided. And I hope I find the middle. And you just take in and on board whatever resonates. So really noticing and playing with that a little bit. What is it that you can let in? And how do you know? And how can you respond to it? And how is that resonating? Okay, so let be is the invitation for tonight. It's coming into your posture, whatever that looks like. The good thing is I don't see you and others don't see you. So, whether you're sort of wrapped in blankets, I tell you, Perth, it is October and I think it's meant to be warmer. We've got 16 degrees. It feels very cold. Very interesting. I saw myself yesterday wrapped in, so not today because I put the heater on. Crazy. Nevertheless, whatever position you're in, whatever you've got on or not, no one can see you. That's a good thing. Make sure that you don't get distracted. turn all the other devices down, shut down your email accounts. You don't have to be distracted in that way right now. It all can wait. Good thing. And yes, and being aware of change. Being aware of change as you radically showing up in this very moment, as you're taking your seat. Noticing how you're taking your seat. Yes, you are already sitting or lying down. Maybe get out of it for a moment or move and then deliberately move into a posture that provides you a sense of dignity. Puts you in this presence, getting a sense of being connected with the ground beneath, the surface beneath, the floor, the chair, the sofa, the cushion, the meditation bench, the yoga mat, the bed, the carpet. There are parts that are in touch with the ground, in the bigger picture with the earth, and getting a sense of being held and anchored. And just allow yourself to, stretch the body, move the body in your own way. Or just coming into this relative stillness. And also, if you haven't done yet, maybe allowing yourself to closing the eyes fully or partially. And just noticing what that is like. Is it kind of really taking away the distraction from the outer and just really descending awareness inside? Having said that, if you prefer to really keep your eyes open because it gives you a sense of safety and a bit of a sense of control, absolutely go for it. Just experiment with this as well. You may need a longer, in particular if the mind is very busy. You just find a spot in front of you or on the floor that you can keep a soft gaze at. Or notice what happens as you're letting the eyelids cover the eyeballs. And just relaxing all the parts of the body that are maybe a bit of tension there and then, or tightness. Loosen up best you can. Let the body relax. Noticing why you're here. Noticing what it's like to be here. And you don't even have to like it. Just be here. So not wanting things to be different at all, just being here and showing up to this moment and see what happens. Bringing this curiosity towards your experience and shifting the focus of attention to the breath. Tuning in to your breath and your body. As you're centering your awareness down inwardly. And maybe even really dropping into your chest, into the middle of your chest, into your heart. And just noticing the rhythm of the breath and noticing how the breath is actually gently rocking and caressing the heart. And as you're slowing down and falling awake to the body, to the breath, noticing what that feels like. And noticing whether there's any expectation towards this practice, and if so, just being aware of it and maybe even dropping it. Because there is no fixed destination, right? There's no fixed outcome that we have to strive towards. This is what Mark Epstein says there. When there is no fixed destination, you cannot ever lose your destination. So you cannot ever lose your path. So nothing that happens in your life can take you off your path. Your path is what happens. And what happens is your path. There is no other. So just this one breath and noticing how that is expanding the body as you're breathing in, and you're perhaps really allowing to come into this particular way of being. And as you're breathing out and noticing the expansions changing, that in itself is really an interesting practice, sort of letting be and letting go, right? Not controlling the breath, let it come in and out of the body in its own rhythm, because the body knows how to do that. And not holding on to the breath. So it's a letting go of the breath. And taking note of how's the mind. Of course, the mind wants to be noticed. How's this resonating in the mind? Is there a protest going on? Is there a reaction? Or is the mind actually appreciating this, letting be, this just being in this relative stillness and not doing anything, not making an effort? And in between there's the breath. You can always bring your awareness back to focus, to reconnect my voice, sounds, or any other natural anchor that helps you to, when you're getting off track. Well, that is also part, isn't it? But to refocus, because you really want to be aware and awake. And again, it's really this fine tuning of what is the difference between letting go and letting be, or this continuum, so to speak. I think really the let be comes first and then towards let go, maybe, but not striving forward. And it actually is not a matter of letting go. This is what John Kabat-Zinn says. He really sort of brings this into the practice. He really invites to let things be as they are. And noticing whatever is arising in this very moment. For some of you, it might be so easy to do this. If that's the case, just take note of that. And for some others, it might be really puzzling and confusing, and maybe lots of stuff going on, lots of vibration, lots of thinking, lots of distraction. And if you can hold this in the container of awareness, if you would say the awareness is the sky, and you just, they are the clouds, they come and they go. They don't really care whether you want them to be there or not. It's like the weather, as I said at the beginning, it doesn't really care whether I like it or not. It is just happening. So treating this, whatever helps you, sort of, treating whatever is arising, first of all, with kindness. I see you. I notice you, mind, and this thought in particular. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm noticing, I feel a certain way. Maybe there's some frustration, sadness, whatever. And I allow myself to not react, to just let it be. And notice what happens if I form a different relationship to all the events that arise. The thoughts, the feelings, and the sensations in the body. So in this container of awareness, as I'm holding everything, if that is possible, if that is too much, if that is too difficult, remember there's choice. You don't have to follow my invitations. You can just again shift the focus to the breath. Stretch and adjust the body. Or just tune in with the soundscape. And notice what happens if you allow yourself to choose whatever is available to you in each and every moment. What that kind of feels like. It's very responsive rather than reactive. And you probably sort of saw that quote that I posted. That is what Mark Epstein says. Instinctively, we want things to be more secure, more absolute, more under control than they possibly can be. So that there's always a gap between what we wish for and what we have. We have to learn how to work with that gap. And we can only learn how to work with that gap if we come and see ourselves, if we start to witness, this is what is arising. If we allow it to be, if we don't push it away, if we don't grasp, if we don't cling, if that feels safe, we see it is also passing, not staying forever. And in between the breath, I'm breathing in. I know that I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. I know that I'm breathing out. And in this moment, noticing what is arising. Is there anything that you want to hold on to? Is there anything that you don't want to face? Is there anything that you're hoping for that it doesn't happen? Is there anything, any attachment that you're holding on to? Is there an expectation that is hidden below and maybe now becomes actually available to you, we become aware of it. All these questions that we can ponder on. But we can only answer if we see it. If you push something away that hasn't even come up yet, it doesn't really work that way. I'm just noticing, how's the body right now? Is it at ease? Relaxed? Or is it contracting already? And if so, if there's any tension or tightness, is it possible to loosen up again? Yes, allow yourself. This is being in tune with. Stretching, moving a little bit, and coming back into stillness. And you might notice that can't help it, it's automatically drifting or wandering or reacting. That's okay. Noticing is a part that is important, because then it becomes accessible, you become aware of, and you can choose. Let the moment go the way it goes. Breathing. Noticing what it's like to rest in this moment, to be that way. If it's difficult, allow yourself to be kind to whatever part in the body that is struggling, to whatever part in the mind that is struggling. See whether you can bring just some kindness or a smile towards it. Yeah, got you. Okay, it's okay not to be okay. Or just simply shifting to the breath and just following the air in and out of the body. And this is how we want to conclude the practice. So really now withdrawing and focusing on the breath, just the breath. And knowing it's not only you, it's all the people who are here right now doing exactly the same. We're sitting here in this, wherever we are across this world. That's amazing, and breathing together. And maybe whenever you're feeling ready on the next exhalation, perhaps starting to move the body, the toes, the fingers, or lifting the eyelids, or moving the head and taking in the visual field. You're laying down, maybe moving on to one side and just resting there for a moment before you're getting up again. Or you may find yourself wanting to sit a little bit longer. Why not? Go for it. Otherwise, just take a look around. Maybe offering yourself a smile. Good. There's something you want to say before you're heading off, before we're all heading off, you're welcome to. You don't have to. So this is, practice in progress. It actually never stops. And what is that like for you to fall awake again and again and again, to be aware? And sometimes we see things we don't want to see, and then it's about this: how can we skillfully, in a wholesome way, respond to it? And that is something that needs to be learned, because that's not what we normally don't grow up with. This is not how we are taught. You're taught there's a problem, we have to fix it. And if we can't fix it, we work harder, we make more efforts. And if we then still can't fix it or find a solution to it or can't let go of, could be quite in trouble. So there is another way, and this is what we practice. Everyone, very good. To be continued. Tomorrow will be a change in terms of the time, because I cannot make it tomorrow night. I just want to, if you're still here and if you are from Perth, there is a screening tomorrow of a movie that is called Thrive at the Palace Cinema, Wayne Square in the city, 6:30. So there's still tickets available. It's the one and only screening in WA. It's all about happiness and meeting nice people. And also, so that's the reason why I meet you tomorrow at 12 p.m. If you cannot make it, it might be also good really to break the day that way and see what happens if you join, if you can. You don't have to be on the screen. You can just, listen to it on your phone if you've got a mobile device. But also, the same on Friday will be at 12 p.m. But as you know, the sessions are also recorded and for a while will be made available here. So if you are registered, you can replay the sessions at the time of your convenience. And also, as you perhaps know, I'm very passionate about making these resources available and inviting people in. So if you know someone, maybe a friend, a colleague, a team, your boss or your staff, just, bring them in. Maybe it would be good tomorrow, 12 p.m. lunchtime, to do something different and to just show up here. And that would be nice. Thank you so very much for tuning in tonight. Or no, I don't know, what's the time in Boston? I forgot. I think you are behind us. Maybe it's midnight or something like that. I remember from previous times. So thank you so much. I hope you have a good night. Maybe it has helped you to sort of slow down a little bit and prepare for the night. And everyone else, have a nice rest of this day, evening. Or if you are in Europe, then maybe have a nice afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. Take good care and goodbye for now.